There we go. There we go. Listen, I just want to, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but I wanted to record this. Of course, a lot of us are doing more reading these days, right? What else is there to do? God know He got us, right? Here's what I'm studying. You know, God spoke to me the other night about don't be distracted, be prepared. And so I thought about, kind of where we are in this whole process and, people scrounging for food and so forth and so on, right? So I went back and I was reading. I wanted to read the aftermath of the famine in Egypt. And so I'm reading this, and the way my Bible titles this, it says the result of the famine, right? And I'm in verse 20. It says, so Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. Remember, during the famine, of course, they weren't prepared for it. So he ended up, giving food and so forth. But his position is, I call him the CEO to Pharaoh, right? But the decisions that he made during that time, yes. But here's what I wanted to see. What happened after the famine was over, or they got on the other side of it, right? So here, listen to this. Because again, I'm dealing with strategies going forward. Yes, a lot of us should have been prepared and so forth and all of that. And I spoke to the Queen Network. Guys, we talked about this last year. Okay. So maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but you should have been. All right. But here's where I'm at, especially with the church. How do we move forward? Because I'm looking at the results of the famine. I'm looking at the aftermath of the famine. It says, so I'm in verse 20. So Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For every Egyptian sold his field because the famine was severe upon them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he relocated them temporarily to cities from one end of Egypt's border to the other. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had an allotment from Pharaoh, and they lived on the amount which Pharaoh gave them, so they did not sell their land. So the priests were taken care of. Okay. So then it says, then Joseph said to the people, look, today I have bought you and your land for Pharaoh. Now here is seed for you, and you shall plant the land. At harvest time, when you reap the increase, you shall give 1/5 of it to Pharaoh, and 4/5 will be your own to use for seed for the field. And as for food for you and those of your households and for your little ones. And they said, you have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servant. When I read through that, I said, there's two sides on this. Either you're going to be the borrower or the lender. And we're given so many opportunities, guys, to be the lender. But when we're not in crisis, we're just consumers and we're just borrowers, and we don't think about things happening and us being in a position to not only help our family, but what about the aftermath? This aftermath, if you are the aftermath of this situation that we're in right now with the coronavirus, if you are in a prepared state, and not everybody is, I understand. But here's what I told somebody the other day. They said, oh, I wish I had, because I was talking about some investings and different things that I'm watching, right? Because all you gotta do is pay attention to the market, okay? And kind of see where you need to move. And so I was having a conversation with a friend, and the first thing they talked about was, oh, I wish I had $1,000. I wish the stock is only XYZ. I'm like, what's wrong with you going out there and getting a share? Get your foot in the water, doggone it. Why are we always waiting on something more or something better or whatever? But when I was reading this, I said he had to step in to feed them. They ended up losing everything that they owned. He owned all of their stuff. But then they came back to him. It said they came back to him. Joseph bought all the land of Egypt. For every Egyptian sold his field because the famine was. So it was like, okay, it's a famine. We can't do anything with it. Here, give us money so we can eat. So he owned everything. So are we in a position to be prepared to buy up things that are on sale? Whether it's stocks, whether it's homes, whether it's businesses, whether it's to put more money into precious metals like gold. And so, I mean, are you prepared for that? God said, don't be distracted. Be prepared. He was prepared, more than prepared, because he basically saved their lives. But I'm reading this because really I wanted to see what the word had to say about the aftermath, what happened. But that was the strategic plan after the famine. Basically, Pharaoh is making money while he sleeps. I was like, Lord, okay. He's making money while he sleeps because he was prepared. And so they gave him seed. He basically gave him seed and told him what to do with the seed. And, oh, by the way, you're going to give me a fifth of this, and you're going to take 4/5 of that. He gave strategy. He gave him a strategy. So anyway, I wanted to record that. That's it, guys. I'm just reading my Bible, But I wanted to know what was the results of the famine. What happened after that? And when I saw, I knew what had happened before or doing. And they, the famine, it means the famine. There was nothing to eat. So basically they had to come to him, and Joseph basically in his kindness was prepared to be able to feed them, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to know what happened when the famine, what was the result of the famine? The result of the famine was the person who was prepared owned everything and was able to dictate to the people that he bought it from what the next steps were going to be. So now he's making money in his sleep. That's all. I'm just saying. Y'all know that's my thing. I'm just saying. Don't be distracted. Are you prepared? See y'all later.